So, all right, chat. This one could be interesting. So this one is about professional victim fatigue. And I'm guessing this is good. This is going to be talking about all of basically the perpetually offended or perpetual victims that we're seeing online, primarily on like Twitter and TikTok, and how there's a great deal of fatigue regarding this. And considering I am feeling very fatigued with these professional victims as well, I thought, well, I should watch this video. So let's take a look-see. And let's see if this goes deeper than I know, shall we?
I just wish there was something I could do for you all, like improve public safety for disabled folks every day, you know? Oh, no thank you. Anyways.
For those of you who are confused, no, this masking video is not from 2020. It was released recently, like a month ago, and you have someone who is still saying that everyone has to wear a mask for COVID because
21 seconds in, and we come in hot. So we have this person, Candy Corin. Gee, I wonder what her bio looks like. Gary, I guarantee you that she's going to be a they, them. Is saying that 5 years after COVID, that people should still walk around wearing masks. 5 years after COVID. What the fuck? Like, when it comes to masks, I will allow. I will, and board, that's kind of where it's going. I will allow at the early onset when this first popped off, when COVID first popped off, and we were seeing like a rapid spread, I do think that initially using masks temporarily in the very beginning was probably beneficial because we did see, you know, a lower flu rate because people wearing masks, and like in the initial onset, yes. But saying like, oh, you know, everybody should wear a mask and you know, making it like mandatory. It's like, yeah. It went beyond the initial, okay, shit's popping off and we need to do something while we figure this out. I was okay with. And then it kept extending more and more and more and more and more as like, yo, now we're getting fucking stupid with this. And it got, yeah, it's, and that's the thing. And also it's, well, there was also a gross misunderstanding of masks, which is partially where this video is a problem. Because the masks was not to protect the people that... The masks worked by preventing people that were sick from creating the spread. And people were going on the assumption that if you wore a mask, it protected you from it being in the air, when the purpose of the mask was that if you were sick, you were not expectorating or spreading it through coughing. So people that were sick and coughing were not spreading it. And the whole concept of wearing a mask when you yourself are sick is not new. Okay, Asia has been doing this for a very long time. Like, you know, Asiatic countries have been doing this for a very long time, where if you as an individual are sick, you wore a mask to prevent your illness from spreading. So this is not new. The problem is that especially in the US and in Canada, they went nuclear with the whole goddamn thing and said, everybody needs to wear a mask. Oh my God, everybody. And the rationale behind it got lost, and it didn't make a whole lot of sense for people that weren't perfectly healthy to not wear one. And it was just, it went freaking crazy when the original intention of it got lost or abused. The original intention of it got lost, and governments would just like, everybody fucking wear a mask. And that whole thing. It's. And now, 5 years later, yeah, Kaibo, people were doing that shit, like wearing a mask, driving alone in your own car. That's just insanity. That was insanity. That people were wearing a mask by themselves in their cars. They were wearing a mask just walking by themselves outside of a crowd, down the sidewalk, in their own homes. It's like, really? Fucking really. So yeah, that went nuts. But the masking thing went crazy, which is a little bit sideways because this is 5 years later that this person is saying you still need to wear a mask. And I'm sorry, if you still think you need to wear a mask 5 years after COVID, there is something wrong with you. Deeply wrong with you.
COVID, because if you don't, then you're a bad person who deserves to be shamed.
And yes, Captain Rudy, that is why I said at the initial explosion of it, why I was like, they wanted everybody, because there was the initial explosion of it. People weren't sure what was going on. And during the initial point of it, I was like, okay, it's general precautionary. I got it. I understood it at the very onset of the entire pandemic. Down the line, though, it just started getting stupid. That's what I'm referencing to. So I'm referencing to down the line after the initial explosion, and then they were just getting really stupid with it, especially with the governmental mandates and everything. That's what I'm referencing.
Everyone has to wear a mask for COVID, because if you don't, then you're a bad person who deserves to be shamed for wanting to live your life normally. This person actually does a lot of masking propaganda, so let's see why.
Why do you talk about masks all the time? Because the pandemic never ended. The government just removed emergency status and normalized sacrificing our most vulnerable.
You know, it's weird how they...
More people die from the regular flu than COVID. This is proven. This is statistically factual. More people die from the flu than they do from the COVID variant of it. No, Zap, I get it. I'm talking about what this person just said. Is that, they just removed the mandate and they're not protecting the most vulnerable. It's like 5 years after. Dad, yeah, I was referencing this statement of how more people die from the flu than COVID. Now, certainly in 2025. No problem, Sid. It's okay. Yeah, I was referencing her statement here that she made.
They were able to drop the emergency status and everything seems fine. It's almost like the risk of dying from COVID was heavily exaggerated and manufactured by horrendous policy decisions and the censorship of doctors with effective treatments. So this person who, by the way, works from home and doesn't have to deal with masking for an 8-hour shift is suggesting that we go back to some of the lockdown policies of a couple years ago that crashed the economy, threw a bunch of people into poverty, and damaged everyone's mental health.
Yeah, because she works from home, so she's already home, so lockdowns wouldn't affect her, because she doesn't give a fuck about anybody else. I work from home, and I do not want lockdowns. For God's sake, I work from home with both of my jobs, both my main job and streaming. I work from home. Doesn't mean I want a fucking lockdown. But she obviously doesn't give a shit about anybody else because she works from home. She's already home.
For a disease that's basically killing nobody these days, at some point you have to do a cost versus benefits analysis, and if you get the short end of the stick on that, then you do what you can to protect yourself. But this whole masking 5 years after the lockdown started is not an uncommon belief, actually. I've seen a lot of people promoting it.
Oh, I'm COVID safe. If you guys aren't masking, I'm not going to be around you.
You should go out.
Okay. What are we seeing? God damn it. Oh, not even nose ring. We've got 2 to 3 nose rings. 2 to 3. That's 2 to 3 right there. three nostril piercings, an upper lip piercing, a lower lip piercing, and two temple piercings. Like, yeah, your threat carries no weight when you look like this.
You should go out more.
Oh my god! Okay, if every single one of them is going to be nose ringed up to shit like this, I'm sorry, the nose ring theory is real. Yeah, are we seeing a fucking pattern? Oh my god!
For context, both of those videos were filmed this year.
COVID and people aren't masking.
Yes. Yes, it is. Would catch. Who said that? Wait, who said that? Hold up, who said that? God, who was it? Who wasn't it? You did, Alcer. Alcer, good catch. Yeah, there's chin here. Here. There is chin hair. Yeah, Andrea. I know. I did watch, like, I scrubbed through a little bit of this prior to watching to see if it might be something to watch, and I caught the part about claiming to be autistic. I did catch that part.
Masking.
For context, both of those videos were filmed this year. Here's a whole page dedicated to masking propaganda with a comic that says, "Not masking is eugenics," followed by the caption talking about how the creator is.
Wait. Not masking is eugenics? Okay. Somebody is buzzwording. Okay, whoever drew this, whoever made this, heard the word eugenics, received the incorrect definition of it, and said, this is a word I can use. Yeah, this is someone who does not have a fucking clue what eugenics actually is.
Mad that normal people on the left don't want to wear a mask every time they go outside. Are you just going to wear a mask forever? Yeah. I can only imagine the tyranny we would live under if this person got any political power. But more importantly, everyone is just tired of this type of person constantly playing victim and then using that to either tell everybody what to do or demand free shit. We're all tired of this, or fatigued as one might say. Because the ones who play the victim game are always the most sociopathic, self-centered, and awful people, so no one's being fooled by this fake compassion anymore.
Why don't just disabled people wear masks then? Some disabled and immunocompromised people cannot get vaccinated or wear a mask due to medical reasons, which is why it's crucial you should if you can.
Right. The people that are, okay, for the immunocompromised are in the minority, and and in 2025, there is such a thing as like herd immunity, and so this person is basically saying that because immunocompromised people exist, the entire populace of the planet should mask forever. Look, Wolfie, they do, but not in the way that you're thinking. Masks do work against airborne viruses in that the person that is sick with the airborne virus wears the mask, and when they cough or expectorate, the fluid goes into the mask and therefore does not go fully airborne. That is how the mask prevents airborne illnesses, is that the person that is sick wears one, and thus they prevents them from spreading. So that's the concept behind it. But I'm sorry, the immunocompromised people, yes, they exist. But the entire planet cannot mask for the rest of their lives because of immunocompromised people. Because guess what? Those immunocompromised people are also at risk from things like the common flu. Not even the more advanced one like coronavirus, but the standard coronavirus. That's not COVID-19, but the standard coronavirus. Immunocompromised people can get grievously sick and die from a standard seasonal flu. Okay? So saying, oh, you have to wear a mask because immunocompromised people exist doesn't fucking work. And Gore, there you go. Mousy is isolated because she is severely immunocompromised and she got COVID. Or sorry, Alex. Yes, not the flu, the common cold. Thank you. Sorry. Yes, my brain was stuck on flu for some reason, and I mischaracterized it. Not the flu, the common cold. Apologies. Yes. Yeah, you're right. My brain did a flip, and I said flu, and I meant to say cold because the coronavirus is a cold. Yeah, I made a boo-boo. I did. But still. My point regarding flu itself, after accidentally giving it the wrong scientific characterization, my point about the flu still stands. In that that immunocompromised people can get the flu and die from the flu. So this argument doesn't work about, oh, that COVID still exists, so you need to wear a mask. So does the common flu. And according to this person, you should wear a mask for the rest of your life. You should exit the womb and immediately have a mask put on you, according to basically this person's logic.
If you can, where should I mask then? Everywhere? You should mask anywhere you think disabled people deserve to exist in safety. P.S. That's every public place.
So, you just answered your question. This person just pretended like they were, this person just did a voice like an outraged normal person going, so where should I mask? Everywhere? And then literally this person responds with, yes, you should mask everywhere. Like, this is not the fucking own that you think it is, honey. It ain't.
Public place.
For the record, this person's claiming that she's disabled because she's slightly autistic. Now, for one, never getting sick is bad.
Fullback. Is she trying to claim that she is disabled and at a higher risk of catching COVID because she is high-functioning autistic? Am I understanding this correctly? That this person just said because they are high-functioning autistic, that they are at a higher risk of catching COVID. Really? Gore? Any, she's saying anywhere you think disabled people deserve to exist in safety. It sure sounds like it. Honey, I know autism.
Lady, go fuck yourself with a bad dragon, wrapped in concertina wire, slathered in Carolina Reaper hot sauce.
I'm not prepared to go that route yet. But I know autism. Autism is in my family. You are not at a higher risk of catching COVID because you're autistic, you dumbass. And yeah, that was the next point, Eins. Way too many fucking people right now are claiming autism because they're quirky. So, yeah, you take with a heavy fucking grain of salt. Anyone that does these kind of posts on social media claiming they're autistic. Because again, people like this think I'm quirky, so I must be autistic. Real fan? Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. And the fact that she is using autism as a fucking excuse of why you should wear a mask? I don't fucking think so. No fucking shot. Autism does not put you at a higher risk of catching COVID. You dumb fuck.
That she's disabled because she's slightly autistic. Now, for one, never getting sick is bad for your immune system and makes you more vulnerable. Two, being alive always carries risk, and nobody is masking every time they go outside forever, in the extremely small chance they come across someone who has a compromised immune system and can't mask if they want to. Like, that's such a rare thing that realistically, I think this person's just overly fearful of catching.
Yeah, no kidding, Seth. No kidding.
Small chance they come across someone who has a compromised immune system and can't mask if they want to. Like, that's such a rare thing that realistically, I think this person's just overly fearful of catching COVID and is saying, what about these marginalized communities, to pretend that she isn't being selfish. Because calling everybody murdering eugenicists if they don't cater to what you want is kind of self-centered. Anyway, for those of you who didn't see the prior videos, this pink-haired person is Courtney, who is a 28-year-old.
My eyeballs. My God. Oh, this is hurting my, this is hurting my brain. Oh, this image is hurting my fucking brain right now. Jesus.
Asexual autistic person with low support needs.
Oh, she's not simply non-binary, she's asexual. Okay.
Who also has ADHD. Did I get all those tags?
Wait, hold up. Let me split. Hold up. Let me hear the laundry list of things that she claims to have again.
Didn't see the prior videos. This pink-haired person is Courtney, who is a 28-year-old asexual autistic person with low support needs who also has ADHD.
Chat, want me to let you in on a little secret? Do you want me to let you in on a little secret? People that are autistic, high-functioning autistic, and ADHD, because ADHD does kind of go hand in hand with autism. I fully appreciate that. People with autism don't broadcast that they're low needs. Literally, the definition of high-functioning autistic means that they are an individual with autism that does not require extensive levels of care. Like, for example, the person in my family who has autism is moderate to severely autistic. Therefore, the person in my family who is autistic will likely need care for the rest of their lives. There is a high probability that the person in my family will never be able to live on their own by themselves without receiving care of some sort because they are severely autistic. People that are high-functioning autistic don't actually need to provide the label of low care because that is literally what high-functioning autism means. It means you are high-functioning and don't require care. The only reason to put that in any kind of a bio or in a video where you are professing what you are is if you're seeking attention. You'll only put that you have low care if you're looking for attention. Okay. And again, I don't trust that this person has autism. I don't. And I will show you why. I have a little short video. After this, I'll show you of someone that is high functioning, that does make content creation, and talks about their autism in a way that is not this.
Did I get all those tags perfectly correct? I wouldn't want to be called a bigot.
Oh my gosh, I had an autistic meltdown this weekend and went nonverbal. Actually,
She doesn't have autism. She does not have autism. I'm gonna call this right now. Autistic people don't do this. I'm sorry. My like X to fucking doubt right now. High functioning autistic individuals don't profess this. I had an autistic meltdown this weekend and went nonverbal. No. Fucking no. I'm sorry. Like, at this point, high doubt. High fucking doubt. That this person is autistic and is not just simply basically self-diagnosed because they're quirky and decided to take an online test. Like there's like websites out there where you can do like a test for if you're autistic, and I can almost guarantee that she basically did one of these tests. And the test said, oh, there's a high probability you're autistic. And so she decided, well, I guess I'm autistic then. Yeah, she was internet diagnosed. And yes, Emperor, I had an autistic meltdown. You're not autistic. No. Exactly, Double. This combination right here just gave it away that she's not autistic. It just gave it away. I know autism. I know autistic meltdowns. You don't like say I had an autistic meltdown this weekend and went nonverbal. She's buzzwording. She's seen TikToks talking about autism and said, "That's me," and decided she's autistic. Yeah, I'm generally speaking, some autistic people do social media. And again, I'm going to show you a sort after this. They don't do it in this way. And, okay, I was ranting. I didn't have a chance to say anything. Lunar, thank you for the tier 3. And Cramps, thank you for the $50 dono. Thank you so very much. I'm sorry, I was ranting because this is my quote-unquote tism about autism. And this had me fucking going. Like, I am so beyond fucking done. Like, I don't simply just have professional victim fatigue at this point. I have fucking, like, self-diagnosed autism fatigue at this point. I am so fucking sick of people self-diagnosing themselves with autism because they're quirky or they need to feel fucking special and going, I have autism. Because people that actually have autism don't do this shit. The people that actually have autism are not using it for attention seeking. The people with autism don't want to have autism. People that are possessed, that have this mental disability fucking hate having it. Because they can feel intensely how separate they are from other people, and they don't like it. They don't like feeling this way. They don't like being so separate from other individuals when they're standing right beside them. They fucking hate it. And this person is just treating it like, oh, I'm quirky. Fuck you, you fucking bitch. Fuck you.
verbal. Actually, that would be a verbal shutdown. Huh?
No, it's not. No, it's enough with the goddamn buzzwords about autism. Oh my sweet fuck. Just like the goddamn LGBT, and specifically the trans activists that like to fucking throw buzzwords around and make everything so much fucking worse for people that are actually LGBT, people like this fucking cunt are making it worse for people with autism. Okay? People with autism don't like broadcasting the fact that they have autism. They already feel so separated from other people. They don't like to broadcast this fact because they know it makes other people feel uncomfortable, which makes them feel uncomfortable. So by doing this shit, you are actually making things worse for people with autism because you're getting fucking preachy about it. And you're actually making people with autism look like attention-seeking fucking whores when they are not. And you're making it so much fucking worse for them. Shut the fuck up. And I'm trying excessively hard right now to keep from screaming this because I do not want to scare the person in my house that actually has autism. So I am seriously fucking clamping down right now on what I actually want to say and how to say it because I don't want to scare them. So I will just say, fuck you, you fucking cunt. Go fuck yourself with a bad dragon wrapped in concertina wire soaked in ghost pepper hot sauce. Shut your whore nuts.
Because being non-speaking or non-verbal is the permanent state of using words and other forms.
No, it's not. No, it's fucking not. There are people with autism that can go through periods where they are nonverbal and they can transition out of being nonverbal. The person in my family with autism started as being nonverbal. Thank fucking God they transitioned out of being nonverbal and are now verbal. And for an autistic person being nonverbal, that can be a transitory state. It can be permanent, yes, but it can also be transitory. So it's indicating a state of their autism. You fucking cunt! Shut the fuck up and stop pretending, you fucking tourist!
Besides voice. You don't experience that, and you don't have to co-opt someone else's language to describe that experience.
Right, the asshole is the person who made the honest mistake and not the one who is meticulously correcting everyone. Anyway, basically all of Courtney's content is centered around what level of the victim tier you're on, and she seems to revel in collecting various diagnoses like autism and ADHD, so she can use that to claim that she is disabled and therefore oppressed,
my fucking God.
which really is just a personality trait that everyone finds annoying, because ultimately, the reason that they're playing the victim oppression game is to shield themselves from any criticism of their behavior.
Yeah, and it's both a shield and it's attention-seeking. This is attention-seeking behavior. And it's giving her an excuse to look the way she does and act the way she does. This is pure fucking attention-seeking. Like, Dark Knight? Okay. I don't want to give you false hope, but the experience I had with a member of my family who is autistic, like at the age of 3 or 4, they were fundamentally speaking nonverbal. And thank fucking God, they were able to transition from it. They went from being nonverbal to basically using single word usage to word chunks to now sometimes you can't get them to shut up. So, Dark Knight, take hope. Hopefully you were able to get, professional assistance with someone that works with autistic individuals. Keep hope that they will be able to transition out of the non-verbal phase. Just be prepared. It can be very slow going. Very slow going. And Dark Knight, this is going to sound fucking insane given today. The thing that helped the person in my family transition out from being nonverbal to using single word usage to for everything, to going to word chunks, to being able to actively communicate their needs. This is going to sound crazy. YouTube. YouTube is what greatly helped the person in my family learn and develop language, because they were watching, YouTube videos, and they were hearing the words being spoken and being used in context with visuals, and they were able to, and that was able to reach them that, oh, this word sounds like this, it's used in this way, and it was actually instrumental in helping them in the beginning of them developing language skills. I know in this day and age, it sounds fucking crazy. We talk about like iPad parents just sticking an iPad in front of their kids and going away, and that's the downfall, that's contributing to downfall of society. In the case of someone with autism, it can actually prove to be beneficial. I know it's counterintuitive, but in the case of autism, in my personal experience, it is actually proven to be a benefit. So, obviously, go work with a professional on this. They will be able to guide you best, but that is just something that I can share from my personal experience with it.
Behavior, which brings us to a video that I made a little while back called Why the LGBT Movement is Failing, that included an entire 10 seconds of Courtney talking about some BS about being non-binary, and I basically responded with the same sentiment of this meme here, which is that once you see the bad haircut and the pink hair, you know this person's going to be annoying and offended by everything. And
fuck, I fucking call... So she's not only non-binary, she's also asexual. Oh my god. Bingo! We have a bingo. I think we just hit the bingo card. Self-proclaimed autism, self-proclaimed ADHD, self-proclaimed anxiety disorder, self-proclaimed non-binary, self-proclaimed asexual. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a bingo. We hit the terminally unbind freak show bingo card. Holy fuck. Oh yeah. Rotor? Exactly. Exactly. She's collecting disabilities for attention seeking. This is pure attention seeking shit right now. It is. This is all that's what people like this do. That's why people like this do this. They collect disabilities because they see them online and they go, I'm quirky, so I must be this. I sometimes get anxiety, so I must have this. I have trouble staying focused on something. I must be this. They've never received a diagnosis from a doctor. And they just do like online tests and they go, oh, well, that explains it. I must be this. And they check mark off boxes. And Reptar, thank you for the prime also. Well, Zeb, it's not, therein lies part of the problem, is because there are so many people like her that basically consider quirkiness to be autism. And so you have so many people self-diagnosing as autism to explain quirkiness. And those with actual autism have basically done a disservice by this, because it doesn't actually exemplify how real autism actually presents itself.
Was I wrong? Is the stereotype incorrect? Wow, is this what you look like without the pink anime character hair? Jeez, this is what 4 years of college will do to a person. Now, a normal person would see criticism like that and either ignore it or make a video response. But since Courtney has the maturity of a 7-year-old like Illymation, who also thought people should not be allowed to criticize her, she decided to fight dirty and file a copyright strike on my video on her to get it removed. I made this video here responding to that, where I pointed out that it's ridiculous that she's striking my video over a 10-second clip. I said that she's engaging in copyright abuse to silence people she doesn't like, and I ended that video by saying that I would be fighting the strike. Now we're all caught up to everything that's already been discussed on this channel. So to continue my point about my dislike of people who constantly play the victim card, Allow me to use this next segment to point out how their demeanor completely shifts the minute they feel they have the opportunity to fight dirty and victimize.
Okay. So what I am probably going to have to do, I think I'm going to have to get creative with my editing on this one. I might have to get creative with my editing on this one. We'll see. Because my videos are not monetized, so if she tries to hit me for copyright, she's going to get no money. We'll see if I have to get edit creatively and basically dump the volume on every one of her clips. Maybe I'll have to get creative.
As the people they don't like. By the way, I love how much of this parallels the Alienation drama from last year where she tried to, multiple times, get me deplatformed because I made a video criticizing her. Anyway, getting to the part where she continues to fight dirty, after I released the dedicated video on her talking about her abusing the copyright system, Courtney went onto her Instagram and said this: "On today's episode of alt-right creators doing what they do best..."
Of course. Because of course. Bingo plus. We have a bingo plus. Somebody has disagreed with her, and so that person is alt-right. Okay. So tell me this person does not have a singular original thought of their own without telling me this person does not have a singular original thought of their own. Yeah, this is it. She's, I'm amazed that she hasn't applied to Sweet Baby Inc. They take her right the fuck in. Alex, there is no such thing anymore. Like everything that these freak shows do in terms of language, how they have destroyed the word Nazi, how they have destroyed the word fascism, how they have destroyed the word authoritarianism, how they have destroyed misogynist, misandrist, racist, homophobic. They've destroyed all of those words completely. They do not have proper meaning anymore. They have done the same with alt-right. Because what alt-right used to mean, alt-right used to basically mean someone that basically has an extremist view of Republican ideology. A while back, that's basically what it meant. It meant an extremist view in terms of, like, Republican ideology. Just like alt-left is extremist views of Democrat ideology. It's extremes. But just like every other fucking freak on Twitter, this word has lost all meaning because now it literally only means you disagree with me, therefore you are alt-right, therefore you are evil, therefore you should be disappeared. That's what alt-right means. It is like everything else, it has lost all meaning. And simply just means you disagree with me, therefore I hate you and I think you should die. That's what this means.
Stop. You know what's really funny? These people are so obsessed with making sure that everyone labels them properly, yet anytime they are faced with people who have differing opinions, they mislabel them as alt-right or Nazis. I'm not
or misogynists, or racists, or homophobes, or xenophobes, or every other istophobe in the book. He's 100% right. And I'm going to repeat what he said because it is so true. The very people that are obsessed with getting their labels correct 100% of the time mislabel anybody that disagrees with them. Every fucking time. They're obsessed with having their own personal labels be addressed correctly, but they will 100% of the time mislabel every single person that simply just doesn't agree with them.
alt-right. Alt-right is a bunch of white supremacists who want an ethno-state, and I have openly stated many times that I don't like racism or identity politics. So it's nice to see that Courtney believes she deserves a respect that she doesn't give to other people. Moving on, think before you sleep.
Oh, and okay, hang on. No, I should say it. You know what the being called racist, fascist, Nazi, homophobe, istophobia, whatever, by these people, you know what it's become? If one of these psycho nutcases that belongs in an insane asylum calls you that, it's now become a badge of honor. When one of these people calls you this, it's now a badge of honor that you've won the argument. That's what it means. The minutes, and I've said this before. I've said this many times before. If you, God help you, get into a discussion with someone and they pull out the istophobia alt-right card and say, well, that's just istophobia alt-right thinking, you have won the argument. And literally all you need to do when that happens is just look at them and say, I win, and walk away. Because you have won. Because that has become a badge of honor now. And has become a badge that you are right. And that they have no means of defending their position in the argument.
Posted a large anti-trans rant video. Stop again. It was not anti-trans. It was a video talking about how sociopathic the activists are and how even LGBT people don't like the activist. I mean, if I can't say that it's wrong for Lily Tino to dress like Miss Rachel and then advertise an OnlyFans account on the same page, then Courtney is basically saying,
I'm sorry, what? This person dresses like this and also has an OF. Okay.
and that people can't criticize anything a gay person does or a trans person does. Think Before You Sleep posted a large anti-trans rant video and got mad when I got it removed for copyright because it illegally used my content, and they still don't know how copyright works. They? Are you misgendering me, Courtney? I am not a they, them. And last, here's the best part. After complaining about cyberbullying, Courtney finishes by saying, if you could thumbs down, report, or leave a good comment for me, I would appreciate it as I'm being spammed by their alt-right followers right now. And then she leaves a link to my video on the post.
Because of course they call for brigading. Of course they do. All of the people of equality for all, you never hesitate to call for brigading against someone that disagrees with them.
Followed by a screenshot showing that she watched an ad. Thanks, Courtney. I appreciate your financial support. I also appreciate how you're essentially crying about cyberbullying here as you tell your 200,000 Instagram followers to go mass flag, dislike bomb, and harass a creator who is defending himself against you abusing the copyright system on YouTube.
Wait. Mrs. Rachel is a kids channel on YouTube, and that man was doing a bit based on her channel to explain trans to kids, which everyone thinks is a step too far. Okay. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for the context on that.
How are you the victim? And keep in mind that the result of her post was that I received a shitload of negative comments from her followers, really leading by example by showing that you think that bullying is wrong. Again, I love how this all parallels the Alienation drama where she essentially did the same thing.
And by the way, unintended consequence, when she just called on all of her followers to brigade against him for this, she actually helped him. Because then all of her followers that engaged with the video boosted it in the algorithm, exposing the video to more people's YouTube feeds, therefore getting him more views and therefore getting him more ad revenue. So in her dumb fucking attempt to brigade him, she actually helped him by doing that. Good job.
Complains about being harassed while at the same time tells her followers to harass me, cries to Noah Samson about it so he would tell his followers to harass me, and says thank you to and gives no pushback to a friend who said I should kill myself. And let me just mention that in both cases with Courtney and Alienation, I pretty explicitly told my followers to not comment on their videos or harass them or engage with them in any way. So Courtney, level with me for a second. How is it okay for you to make multiple videos saying everyone who doesn't wear a mask everywhere in public is a bad person, followed by passive-aggressively wishing disability on those who refuse to mask? Like, it's okay to criticize those people, but if I say I don't like pink hair, then you feel like you're morally justified in sending your audience to try to deplatform me.
Simple answer. She thinks she's better than him. That's it. That's it. She thinks she's better than him. She is terminally online and thinks that everybody should bow and scrape and kiss her feet and subjugate themselves to her whim, follow her rules. And if you don't, you're evil and should be destroyed. Just like every other fucking woke activist out there online. It's either you follow dogmatically or you will be canceled and you should be eliminated. And even then, and again, even if someone, even if people do dogmatically follow what she says, the instant they take even a millimeter step out of line, she and people like her will eat them. That's one thing to remember. People like this, they will not hesitate to devour one another at the slightest hint of an infraction to their ideology. Even at the slightest hint of it, they will devour one another. Because because that's how it works. They don't want followers. They don't want a community. They want slaves. That's what these people want. These people want slaves to do their bidding and that are willing to sacrifice themselves for that. That's what these people want.
I mean, holy shit, these people are ridiculous, especially considering people like Illumination's good friend Noah Sampson, who's moved on to telling his followers to commit acts of terrorism. And wouldn't it be a damn shame if someone had an old deleted tweet from Illumination where she was encouraging terrorism in 2020? Wouldn't it be just horrible if someone pointed out that poor little Illumination, who was always a victim, was cheering for innocent people having the shit kicked out of them and their property being looted and destroyed? Wouldn't it be awful if someone had an archive of when Twitter likes were still public and had a post that she liked with a bunch of buildings on fire saying no justice?
Your likes were public back then, you moron. Yeah. I mean, at this point, we are seeing the movement where more and more people that ascribe to this ideology are ascribing to terrorism. They 100% they are. They are ascribing to racism because, let's be honest, people of this ilk hate white people. Even if they are white themselves, they hate white people. They think white people should be subjugated or killed. And they advocate for the death of white people, the destruction of their property, and the destruction of cities that happen to have white individuals in leadership positions. Yeah. That's what these people are. They're literally becoming, this is the new form of terrorism. It's like in it. So now we not only have to worry about like actual terrorists, like the OG, not actual, but the OG terrorists from the Middle East or Russia or whomever, the OG ones that come from communist or, authoritarian or highly radicalized religious nations. We now have to worry about domestic terrorism because this is domestic terrorism right here. This shit is domestic terrorism. Let's not fuck with it. That's what this is.
No peace. No wonder her and Noah get along. Both of them love terrorism. But I digress. You see, what Courtney has done here with this Instagram post is not only violate YouTube's cyberbullying policy, but she also violated Google's terms of service. Anyway, as I said in the earlier video, I will be fighting Courtney's abuse of the copyright system. The way that works is that you file a counterclaim, and the person who filed the strike has 10 business days to prove to YouTube that they filed a lawsuit or the video goes back up. Since Courtney was insistent that I had broken the law, and because she said she talked to someone at YouTube and they said it was copyright infringement, I hired a lawyer. Ethan Klein's lawyer, actually. And after I finished the initial...
Oh, wait, Jack.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Oh, this just got good. Oh, this is game fucking on right now.
consultation, I just started laughing, just so everyone's up to date.
Wait.
And after I finished the infringement, I hired a lawyer. Ethan Klein's lawyer, actually. And after I finished the initial consultation, I just started laughing. Just so everyone's up to speed, any creative work that you make, like a song or a YouTube video, is by law instantly copyrighted so that people can't resell it or claim it's theirs, unless they want to get sued. However, there's an exception to copyright called fair use, which says that you can use people's copyrighted works for the sake of things like parody, education, or commentary, provided that your use of the work doesn't act as a replacement for it, and provided that your input on whatever you used creates some sort of transformative change that alters how people interpret it. This is what allows for doing things like a movie review and using clips from that movie without having to ask the company. So I'm arguing...
Exactly. Yeah, like what I am doing right now is fair use. Every react that I do is fair use. Why? Because I am being significantly transformative in my content. That's why 99% of my videos are usually double the length of the originating video. I was gonna say, Molten, are you sure you're in the right channel? And Molten, you're very, very welcome.
That my use of Courtney's content is fair use. Now, that would have to be held up in a court of law, but since I only used 10 seconds and I gave commentary that argued against what she was saying, it's almost certain that it would be ruled as fair use. But that's not why I thought this whole thing was funny after talking to a lawyer. Now, I'm going to be brief on these specific reasons for why Courtney is screwed because I'm not trying to educate my opponent. That would be a stupid move. However, I will say that basically the reason I was laughing is because the amount of damages that she's legally allowed to pursue for copyright infringement of that 10-second clip is almost nothing compared to how much it would cost to sue me. She would be putting a second mortgage on that pink house to afford it. That's if she wins.
Of course. Of course. Of course. I don't know why I'm surprised I shouldn't be in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. Somebody thinks that they're non-binary Barbie. Yeah. This is someone who I'm guessing she didn't get Barbies when she was a little girl, and now she's trying to make up for it by actually becoming a Barbie.
However, if she loses, which is very likely, it would be incredibly easy for me to prove that her takedown was malicious, which means I can countersue for my lawyer fees, and that won't be cheap for her. So let me be very clear when I say that if somebody were to put me through a massive waste of time lawsuit like that and didn't have the liquid cash to pay for it, I would be brutal in trying to seize every single piece of property that they value until the fees were paid. I very much believe in the fuck around and find out.
Given the fact that she is very likely lying about all of her supposed mental health issues, i.e. ADHD, autism, anxiety disorder, I have no doubt that she is she's non-binary for clout. Okay? She's non-binary and asexual for clout. Because it looks great online these days. I guarantee it. Either that or she's just self-professing that she's non-binary and asexual because no guy will fuck her. That seems like it's a more high likelihood. Is that because she ain't getting the D, she's decided, well, if I can't get the D, I must be non-binary and asexual. That'd be my guess.
Piece of property that they value until the fees were paid. I very much believe in the fuck around and find out policy. And if you want to get so pissy about someone criticizing your pink hair that you turn it into a legal battle, then I'll make sure that you understand why it's a stupid idea to file a lawsuit against somebody because your feelings got hurt. Because once you stop being emotional about this...
In this particular court case, no. Because this particular court case is not dependent on her quote-unquote mental health issues. This particular court case is regarding regarding supposed copyright infringement. So the court would not demand of that. They would just basically be seeing and hearing evidence either to substantiate copyright infringement or disprove copyright infringement with the fair use. That's the only thing that would be prescient in any court in this particular court case.
You're going to realize how financially stupid this was for you. Now, as for what's happened so far legally, I filed a counterclaim and she backed down, probably because she doesn't have a lawyer or any actual understanding of how the law works, and she doesn't want to lose a lawsuit. Actually, just for laughs, let's go over how I know she doesn't have a lawyer. For starters, she said, a person at YouTube told me it was copyright infringement, instead of saying something like,
okay, already we have bullshit. Already we have bullshit. Already we have a heaping, stinky pile of bullshit. A human rep at YouTube approved it. Yeah, they didn't. This is all done through AI, and I guarantee you probably don't have a YouTube rep. Yeah, she lied. She fucking lied right there. And I'm quite familiar with copyright laws, also calling bullshit. That you're quite familiar with copyright laws. I'm gonna call bullshit on that, and you did not speak to a human. You didn't. You filed your copyright claim. It was done through YouTube's algorithm and just pushed it through. You never spoke to a human being. I guarantee you.
my lawyer said it was copyright infringement. Not to mention that YouTube purposefully does not take a legal stance on these issues because they don't want to be held liable, so Courtney was probably talking to a secretary or an AI chatbot that she thought was a human. Now, let me further emphasize how stupid it is to not consult legal counsel for stuff like this, because Courtney 100% does not know how to shut the fuck up, which, as the defendant, personally, I love. So after she made that post telling everyone to mass flag my channel, she made a YouTube community post talking about my video where people were happy to confirm that they were mass flagging my video that broke no rules, which again, violates YouTube's community guidelines. Here's evidence of that. The great thing about this—
Wait. What was that? Well, I saw an asterisk on one. Needs to be platformed at this point. This is the second time I've heard him specifically harassing an autistic person on YouTube. And the asterisk says, can't criticize alienation because she has autism. Such a victim so marginalized, saying you don't like someone's outfit is hate speech.
The great thing about this post is that it helps my case for fair use. Her calling me alt-right and transphobic is a public admission that our viewpoints are diametrically opposed. Thanks, Courtney. That'll make it much easier to argue in a court of law that my commentary is transformative and fair use, because I'm arguing a viewpoint that opposes yours. The great part is that she deleted this post, another indicator that she doesn't have a lawyer, because deleting evidence like that is called spoliation, and there are penalties for that in court. I mean, she'd have to be an idiot to think I didn't save it. Speaking of, Courtney had no problem running her mouth all over the comment section of that post, and it would be a damn shame if somebody read through every single public comment she made and archived them. I mean, she was super arrogant about how knowledgeable she is about copyright law and how she has some sort of connections at YouTube. I guess it didn't work that well because my video is back up. Here's a comment that says, "They're weird as hell for getting upset over this. Even if it is fair use as some people claim, you have a right to not be in a video if you don't want to." There they—
No, you don't. No, you don't. See, when you publicly post something and someone utilizes that in a fair use way where they demonstrably transform it with commentary, you have no right to say, I don't want to be in your video if you've posted it publicly. The minute you post that publicly, you've lost your rights not to appear in someone else's video, so long as that person is being demonstrably transformative under the terms of fair use. So, Muffcat, you can take that. You have a right not to be in a video if you don't want to, and you can shove it straight where the sun don't shine. You're wrong.
Go misgendering me again. I'm not a they, them. And no, she doesn't have the right to not be criticized. Courtney is an influencer, and because she posts herself in the public square, people are allowed to comment on her. If you don't want people commenting on you, then don't post stuff on the internet. Courtney responds by agreeing and saying that transphobic comments make a video not fair use? What?
And by the way, I proved to a real person at YouTube it wasn't fair use, and they agreed. Lie.
So that was a fucking lie.
You didn't talk to a real person. and prove and have YouTube, like he just said before, YouTube will not say we agree it's not fair use, because YouTube can't adjudicate that. They're not lawyers, they're not the courts. So this is a flat fucking lie. She never spoke to a real person at YouTube. And because if she had, if by some miracle she does have a rep, they would not have told her, yeah, this doesn't qualify under fair use. They would have said, you've got to hire a lawyer if you don't think it qualifies under fair use, and you have to sue them. Because if a person at YouTube did talk to her and say, yeah, this isn't qualified under fair use, then not only would he be able to sue her, he'd be able to sue YouTube as well. So yeah, this is a fucking lie.
Did I read that right? Here's a comment where she's openly acknowledging that she told her followers to go harass me and how much she appreciates them doing that. And last but not least, you could use this comment to argue that the reason that she struck the video is because of the criticism and not because any copyright infringement was committed. Let me just emphasize that we have a ton of evidence that Courtney filed that strike in bad faith. And just as a reminder for those of you who haven't seen the video that she tried to silence that's called Why the LGBT Movement is Failing, note that video was primarily about predators like Lily Tino filming in the Disneyland bathrooms with children present, advertising OnlyFans on a page that features Miss Rachel parody content intended for kids, and going into restaurants trying to get people fired.
By the way, what are we seeing here, chat? What the fuck are we seeing here? Now, this person needs to stop speaking on behalf of transgender individuals. This person is not a trans spokesperson. At all. At fucking all. You are not a spokesperson for trans people. Shut the fuck up. Go away. You are doing so much more harm to trans people than you will ever do to help them. You are the reason why anti-trans rhetoric is probably at an all-time high. You are the reason why such a large part of the population of America wants to literally lock up either lock up or kill every single trans person in existence. You are the reason for this. You are harming the average trans person that is not an activist and that just wants to be a normal fucking person and live a normal, unassuming life. You need to shut the fuck up before you get more people fucking killed.
Features Miss Rachel parody content intended for kids, and going into restaurants trying to get people fired in an attempt to go viral on TikTok, as well as there being a crazy mom in that video giving her kid medicine that will permanently sterilize him at 13 years old.
Dr. Olson had...
Okay. I am very supportive of people who are trans. I am. In case it hasn't been obvious by at this point, I'm very supportive of people that are trans. And I am very supportive of young children who feel like they are receiving the proper mental health care they need to determine, are they not? Is there underlying issues here that could be causing them to think this way, and receiving proper mental health care treatment? I do not in any way advocate for medical procedures being performed on them to basically foster their trans identity if the mental health issues have not been properly addressed and they are not adults. I fully support trans people. I fully support kids who think that they might be trans receiving the mental health care that they needed to determine yay or nay, helping them through this, helping them figure out what may be going on. But you do not give chemically altering or physically altering care to a child for this until they have reached the age of adulthood. Give them the care that they need. If through proper medical care and not fucking enabling mental health care, okay? I'm not talking about these psychologists that are just fucking enablers and just rubber stamp every fucking patient they have through. No. Actual psychologists who will actually get to a root of an issue, and if that root issue does happen to be that this person is trans, working with them, helping them, but not chemically altering them at a young age until they reach adulthood and have been able to process this for years through therapy. Then, once they are a legal adult and are legally allowed to make their own decisions, then you can go this route. Not when they are still developing biologically. Again, people like this do so much fucking damage to people that are legitimately trans and legitimately want to just be normal fucking people. This mom is enabling. This fucking Karen cunt is someone that's enabling this because they've drank the fucking Kool-Aid. This is fucking insane. I fucking hate people that do this.
A decision.
You are in the perfect place to start on blockers.
And she promises to begin giving her estrogen, female hormones, in 2 years.
God.
Around 13. That's what I think.
This doctor needs her medical license taken away. This doctor needs her medical license taken away. This, no. Fucking no. Just, I can't properly express my rage because I will scare someone that is in at my place right now. No.
Think. You're not going to wait until 16 to start. You know that, okay?
Who's the bad person here? Courtney is literally
sucking
defending
God.
child.
Put the bitch in jail. Rip her medical license away and put her the fuck in jail. This is a child. This is not an adult. This is a fucking child. You want this child to receive proper mental health care until reaching age 18 and then starting on it? Fine. Not before.
Predators and saying I'm the hateful one because I spent 20 seconds in a video saying I don't like her pink hair and I think she's annoying. Everybody is tired of people like this. Everybody is tired of adults like this who behave like 5-year-olds, wagging their fingers and telling everyone what to do.
POV, you stop living the life you thought a proper adult should and start living for what brings your inner child joy.
Okay, yeah, this explains so fucking much. Yeah, this person is just a child. She did make asylums great again. This person needs to be in an asylum. They don't want to live an adult life. They just want to be. She has Peter Pan syndrome. This girl has Peter Pan syndrome. She needs to be in a mental facility. She needs mental care. She can't. I don't think she can properly function as an adult. She needs mental care.
This is what I mean. Everyone catered to me because I'm a child. I'm afraid of COVID, so here's this drawing I made to call you a piece of shit for not wearing a mask. You know, if you're a 28-year-old who has Peter Pan syndrome and want to play with children's toys, eat the diet of a kindergartner, and live inside of your obnoxiously pink house that I'm sure your husband is only pretending to like because he's afraid of you, then go ahead. It's America. Live how you want to.
Wait. She's married? She's married. Okay. This begs the question. Who would marry this psychopath? Legit, who would marry this psycho? She's non-binary and asexual, so the husband ain't getting any. So how fucked up is he? Like, seriously, if she's this bad and someone married her, how fucked up is he?
Live in private. But the minute you start bringing your childish bullshit around me is the minute that I start caring. And the minute you start pretending to be a victim as an excuse to treat people like shit is the minute I have a problem.
And that's not even considering the larger community of all disabled folks who also experience chronic stress and dysregulation from unmet accessibility needs and living in disabled bodies in a disability-hostile world.
Right.
Bullshit. Bullshit. There is literally the Disabilities Act that requires all businesses to accommodate people with disabilities. The multitude of disabilities is more widely known than at any point in history, and there's been accommodations made for people with disabilities more so than any other point in history, and will continue to do so on a rise even further into the future. So fuck you, you cock-gobbling thundertut. With that shit. You are so full of shit, it defies description. This statement that she just made?
So that was a fucking lie.
Shut the fuck up, you attention-seeking whore.
Right, we live in a disability-hostile world where we have a ton of accommodations and legislation to help disabled people, as well as economic supports for people who are unable to work. I mean, this chick should check out World War II Germany if she wants to see a government that's hostile towards disabled people. But ultimately, this line of...
Or just go to the fucking Middle East. I guarantee you the countries in the Middle East do not give a flying fuck about disabled people and probably will kill them instead of having to deal with them. Yeah, you're living in one of the greatest time periods in terms of care and assistance for disabled people in history, and it will only improve from here. So shut up, you dumbass.
Messaging is not helpful to the people that she claims to be advocating for, which is typical of activism. And I get tired of people who have made it their life's mission to infect others with philosophy that turns them into useless victims.
And as someone who's black myself and has observed a lot of the mindsets that permeate within the black community, I think the one thing that's holding a lot of us back is the victimhood mentality. I've never been a fan of any group of people looking at me and saying,
he's right.
Poor you because of this and that.
Right, this victim mindset is rampant in a lot of communities.
And he's 100% right about that. He is. Because we're a little sidetracked here, but in regards to the black community, they are holding themselves back. Why? Because they constantly cry that they're victims. At least those that do this. This is not blanket statementing anything here in regards to the black community. This is not a blanket statement. But the ones that are constantly screaming and crying the victimhood mentality are the ones that are also acting like absolute fucking hood rats and acting like fucking savages, and then turn around in the next breath and go, we're victims. Like, motherfucker, you're the ones victimizing yourselves. And again, we are at a point in history where, in regards to black people, it is one of the most tolerant points in history in America for what are considered ethnic minorities. There are so many fucking programs. There are so many allowances. The DEI shit is just exploded so that non-white people get chosen for stuff over white people. That how many of these people in the black community that are claiming victimhood are on fucking food stamps and spending thousands of fucking dollars buying crack from grocery stores because they're on food stamps. Well, in the meantime, their children are stealing shit because they want to boast about being able to steal shit. No, you guys are victimizing yourselves. And people are done with it. They don't buy it. They see what you're doing. You're trying to play victim so you don't have to do anything and everything can be handed to you. That is the facts. And thank you for the gifted, Gramps.
And it's not helpful to anyone because it just demoralizes them into achieving far less than their potential. Usually that results in them demanding stuff from everyone that they could have just gotten for themselves. What's worse in Courtney's case, though, is that not only will she tell disabled people to avoid assimilating into normal society as much as they're able to, but also she'll tell them to self-diagnose mental disabilities.
There it is. There it is. That's where she got all of her diagnoses from. That's why she's advocating for peer diagnosis. I'm quirky and I saw it online, so I must be this or that. Hence why I said X to doubt that she has all of those disabilities she claimed to have. She's doing it because she thinks it's quirky. She's basically using all of these quote-unquote diagnoses to feel special. That's it. She wants to feel special. And she wants to feel special on social media. That's what it's all about.
Which is just the worst health advice. And apparently, this is an entire trend on TikTok.
Wait. Hold up. What was that last one? Self-diagnosis will always be valid. No, it won't. No, it fucking won't. Self-diagnosis is not valid. You self-diagnose and people will tell you to go fuck yourself. I will tell you to go fuck yourself if you self-diagnose. 100%. I will tell you fuck off with that shit. Because if you self-diagnose, you know what you are? A liar. If you self-diagnose and profess yourself to be this or that because you self-diagnosed, that means you are a liar. And you are an attention-seeking whore. That's what self-diagnosing does.
Apparently, this is an entire trend on TikTok.
We've seen the rise of self-diagnosed mental illness. The term neurodivergent went mainstream, which mostly referred to autism and ADHD, and it gained traction on platforms like TikTok where users self-diagnosed and demanded accommodations for these conditions like workplace flexibility, using their conditions as an excuse to shrug off adulthood and evade responsibility in so many cases. People started
I fucking hate people like this with the fire of 1,000 suns. You cock-gobbling thunder cunts are making the lives of people with actual disabilities a living fucking hell. Because when you self-diagnose and you start running around screaming, you are this or you are that, and you should be treated special, then when someone with the actual disability needs the assistance because of their actual diagnosed disability, people will look at them and say, you're faking it for clout. You are fucking things up for people that actually have these disabilities. You fucking liars. I hate every single one of them. Okay? Prime example. The person in my family, we actually need, to actually achieve considerations and assistances. The person in my family, we need to actually present the diagnosis of autism in order to avail ourselves of the special services needed for things like schooling or professional care or things like that. We need to actually present the diagnosis from a physician or a team of physicians that worked on the diagnosis. So yeah, saying I'm self-diagnosed, give me benefits, don't fucking work. Because the minute you try and avail yourself of these benefits, you're going to be asked, where's your diagnosis? The government ain't going to give you fuck all just because you're quirky and say, I'm autistic. Don't work that way, sweetheart. This is the real fucking world. not Barbie land.
Started collecting labels like they were personality points, non-binary, disabled, neurodivergent, polyamorous, and became offended if others didn't properly adhere to them.
Right, taking pride in how mentally ill you are is the smart thing to do, instead of getting accurate diagnoses and professional help. All TikTok is doing in this respect is making people friendless and unlikable, without giving them any perspective as to why people outside of the internet don't want to be around them.
You seemed really standoffish at first.
Gee, why would people see you like that? Well, maybe it's because half of your videos are you telling people why they can't live how they want because it offends you, followed by using being slightly autistic or non-binary as a shield against criticism. Like, it's funny how you have perpetual victims like Courtney, but then you have people like Ricky Berwick who doesn't give a shit and can eloquently say things like, "I'm Canadian, you retard." It's weird how basically everyone I've known who has a disability in real life doesn't feel the need to.
And this man right here is the poster child for someone with disabilities who is absolutely fucking based. Ricky Berwick is the OG, like, spokesperson for people with disabilities who basically say, fuck you, I do what I want, and I'm not asking for special treatment. This is the man that people should aspire to be when it comes to treating people with disabilities. He's like, yeah, I'm disabled. I don't fucking care. I'm still gonna do what I want, and I don't expect special treatment. God fucking bless you, man.
Doesn't feel the need to make it their entire personality and really just wants to be treated as if they weren't disabled. But then you have people like Courtney who are out here ordering everyone around, calling people evil eugenicists for not complying with her demands. People like Courtney are doing a disservice to everyone who needs help or accommodations to survive.
Fireworks suck because they scare autistic and neurodivergent people too. 4th of July is a racist holiday that only celebrates the freedom of.
They get the fuck out. They get the fuck out of America. If you think 4th of July is a racist holiday, get the fuck out. Nobody's gonna miss you. Get the fuck out. Go over to the Middle East then if you think that the 4th of July is a racist holiday. You stupid fucking cunt. And the idea here, the 4th of July is a racist holiday because it's celebrated because when the 4th of July occurred, it was predominantly white people in America. So therefore it's racist. That celebrating the country's independence from Great Britain is racist because the people that happen to be present in power at the time were white. You know, back a couple hundred years ago. You don't like it, leave. You want to call the 4th of July a racist holiday because it's celebrating the country? Cool. Get out. Go move to another country. And when you piss them off by saying their country celebrations are racist, they'll tell you to get the fuck out too. Yeah, go live in the UK. I'm sure they'd love you calling every white person racist. Yeah, go move to the UK. They'll welcome you in with open fucking arms.
A select few.
Okay, not only do we have to wear a mask everywhere, but now fireworks are bad because they offend autistic people? And the 4th of July is racist? I have to mask every day, but you can't wear earplugs for a few hours once a year?
And by the way, to the point that fireworks can be troublesome to autistic people, that is true. It is true that for some autistic individuals, fireworks can be a problem. That the loud sounds of fireworks can be overstimulating to autistic people. This is true. This is absolutely true. You know what? You know how that's dealt with? Headphones. Like, people that either are autistic or have people in their families that are autistic, and if they have difficulty with something like fireworks or fire trucks, this is why you see autistic people that have headphones that they wear, like the earmuffs, to block out the sound. They adapt. They adapt to the difficulties that they have in their surroundings. Doesn't mean you need to stop it. And the whole thing about 4th of July being racist, well, that's just that's just because she hates white people. She hates, she hates her own ethnicity. And she should just get out of America and leave America since she hates it so much. She can join Hassan over in the Middle East since they both hate America.
Here, you see what I mean? Literally doing everything in her power to make everyone hate autistic people. And all irony is completely lost on her as she is a...
No. This I'm going to disagree with. About her doing everything in her power to get people to hate autistic individuals, I'm going to disagree with that. Because intelligent people realize this isn't autism. Autism is well known enough that nobody buys she's autistic. That's number one. Nobody buys she's autistic. Number two, they know better than what she say. They know that everything that she says regarding autism is just bullshit. Because autism is pretty widely known at this point. People are quite familiar with autism. So, no, I don't think that she is going to be causing people to hate those with autism, because intelligent people know, regular people know that this is not how people with autism actually behave. I will show you how someone with autism actually behaves after this is done.
Korean who complains about bullshit like Halloween cultural appropriation as she dresses like an anime character from Japan. So everyone's done with this. Elon bought Twitter and stopped banning people for criticizing these professional victims, and because of that, all of the other social media sites had to stop doing that to compete. So, Courtney, maybe it's time to learn how to ignore criticism that you don't like, or respond to it in the coliseum of ideas, instead of using the typical radical leftist below-the-belt cancel culture tactics, because those don't work anymore. Anyway, thanks for watching, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.
Okay, now I'm going to show you a video of someone that actually has autism, that does social media, that is not this. Hang on one second, let me find it. I'm going to be able to find it because I've watched a couple of her shorts lately. Okay, here we go. Let me find a good one. All right. Let's see. All right, I'm going to show you probably a couple because they're very short. So this is Kaylin Parkflow, and she's autistic. She's I'd say she's like high functioning autistic, and she does multiple videos. This is the perfect one about accommodations. What that dumb bitch was just talking about. This is how someone with autism views accommodations for autism.
If you don't feel the impact, you don't get a say. These are autism accommodations I'm not asking for, I'm just doing.
Bringing my own safe foods when I'm concerned about the menu. I'm eating, you're eating, it's okay if it's not the same thing. Wearing sunglasses indoors because fluorescent lights are tough, man. Sitting where and how I'm comfortable, and I don't care if it looks weird. Bringing extra clothing in case my current outfit becomes uncomfortable. Pointing my body towards someone during conversation, but not forcing myself to make eye contact. Using a weighted vest during stressful situations. Fidget tools. Everyone seems to think that people are gonna stare at you, but in my experience, no one really notices. And wearing headphones in public. Again, most people don't seem to notice or care.
If I bring my own snacks, use a fidget tool, or sit kinda weird, there doesn't need to be an announcement. Of course, if I'm doing something that bothers someone else, I'll adjust. That's called being considerate, but being considerate is not the same as asking permission. Kids need permission for everything, but if you're an adult, you don't need a committee meeting to use headphones if they help you. And if you're an autistic adult, part of being responsible for yourself means accommodating your own needs. If you don't feel the impact, you don't get...
And there it is. This is how autism actually is. This is how someone with autism actually functions, and what they ask for when going through life. They don't make demands. They don't start calling shit racist. They don't say you have to accommodate me. No, they just live their lives. They need to make some special considerations for themselves, but they're not demanding everybody bow down to them. Yeah, that's how autism really is. Not that pink-haired, cotton candy gobbling thunder cunt.